and you're a beast at editing. Just like music or audiobooks, podcasts can be consumed while doing laundry, going to the gym, washing dishes, or just relaxing. With our podcast, you don't need to sit at a computer and watch us talk. Like, is it cool? Yeah, because we're on camera and it's personable.
Yeah, she hit. I heard the garage. I was
Vape break.
just throw some shit in there and we'll go back and forth until it sounds good. I fucking totally blanked on like half the shit I was gonna say. So I was like,
I was looking at the list and I was like, right off the bat, PTSD in the workplace.
oh fuck.
So, be like, hey, what's up, everyone? This is Broad Spectrum. My name's Pope. Got my boy Cav with me. Yeah, that's Cav. We're going to be talking about some topics today. We got, I don't know, because I just blanked.
Oh,
but I guess we're gonna talk about some things that go on in our lives. We got a new game that we're playing. We're gonna look over some YouTube channels, maybe some weekly updates of what we're doing every week, and then both of us go to Full Sail University. So hopefully we can, find some topics to discuss with that as well.
All right, so real quick, we'll do our intros. I'm Cav. I was born and raised in Texas. Same thing. Nah, I'm not even gonna say same thing because I'm gonna let him do his intro. I have a bachelor's degree in communications, and I'm actually getting my master's from Full Sail for public relations, and I literally have nothing else to say.
Right on. I like it. I'm Pope. Well, Stephen Pope. And I was born in England and was kind of raised all over the place since I was a military brat. So that's that. As of now, I am a Air Force veteran. I served 6 years. I am a federal firefighter at NAS Kingsville here in Texas. I've been a firefighter for about 9 years now, and I am going to Full Sail for my bachelor's in computer science, and I'm focusing on web development.
All right, guys. So Broad Spectrum is our podcast. We sort of created it in a span of 3 months? Was it? I mean, we put a lot of time into just coming up with a fucking idea.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, sometimes these things you think on paper they're real easy to do, and then as soon as you start trying to execute it, it's definitely a lot of moving pieces for as simple as it seems.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is pretty much what it stands for Broad Spectrum is we're going to talk about an array of topics, and hopefully we don't bore the fuck out of you, but if we do, then whatever.
Yeah, that's what the comment section's for, right?
Yeah, we'll leave that open so you guys can talk shit. And if you're not watching the podcast, we have it up on YouTube where you can come and give us feedback or talk shit, whatever you'd like. Don't matter to us. All right, well, what we're going to talk about actually is a game. We are both big gamers. I used to be a small-time gaming YouTuber, and I used to be a streamer. Pope is still a streamer. You guys can always check that out.
Yeah, I try.
We are going to talk about a game this week that was on the Steam sale. If you guys know what Steam is, it's for PC games only. But for those of you that have never touched it, sorry, PCs are better.
True.
All right, so since you're more in depth with this game and you've just had more hours synced in, go ahead and you can bring this one out.
All right, cool. I mean, to say I have more hours is a bit of an understatement. I've had the game roughly 2 weeks now. I think I have roughly, I mean, it's definitely easily 100 plus hours logged into it already. For whatever reason, I still cannot figure out how to pronounce the name. I can spell it all day. I'm not sure if it's Empyrean. Like, I have no clue, but yeah, it's on Steam. You should definitely check it out. It's about like galactic warfare. It's like Minecraft meets Battlestar Galactica. It sounds cheesy, but it's definitely not. You can get in, you start, pretty much you as the character are a survivor, of a capital vessel that's been shot out of space. And
for reference, what exactly is a capital vessel?
A capital vessel is pretty much like the Enterprise on Star Trek. Everyone knows what Star Trek is. Everyone knows what the massive ship is.
Hold on. Not
You know
everyone
it.
knows what Star Trek is. We got some
Well,
Star Wars fans out here. Come on.
it could be Star Wars too, what have you. I don't know the name of the
It's
of
just
the home
we'll
ship.
just
It's
call it
just a
just
mess.
a destroyer. We'll just use
There you
that as
go.
an example.
It's essentially it's a destroyer. You're a survivor of a shot down destroyer, and the game starts with you in a survival pod, and you're crashing to whatever planet. It's not Earth. It's whatever planet you so choose to start on, and then you pretty much start out with nothing. You start out with what's called a survival tool, and you have to build all the way from only having a survival tool all the way up, and you can just build a whole massive empire in space.
Yeah,
Like our server that we have is very far from where we used to be. We have massive bases. We have 2 different planets that we occupy. We have 2 different capital vessels that we take in battle. We've got it all. So definitely that game is worth the look, and it's definitely worth playing.
and it's only $20. It was $10 on the Steam sale, and I had the luxury of being able to start where Pope was probably about half of the hours he has now. So I definitely had a nicer
Yeah,
time starting.
Yeah, it definitely had a leg up on it. It's definitely a grindy game. If you don't like to put time and effort into a game, then it's definitely not for you. It's not.
Yeah, Call of Duty is still open for you.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Call of Duty is still producing their garbage games for you. So if you
Whoa,
like
whoa.
closed-minded, you like closed-minded, run in a circle, then boom, there you go.
So we're back to Overwatch.
Hey, Overwatch, as I feel, is different. I thoroughly enjoy Overwatch. There's actually team tactics.
All right,
You have
well,
different characters, different classes. That's just another game
that
we can
we'll talk about that one after this. But
Yeah,
for Empyrean, it's definitely like I'm definitely always been a first person shooter type of player, and it's for me it's I can't play a game without having other people, and this is a game that you could definitely play solo, but it is more enjoyable with multiple people. That's just how it is in my like mindset aspect, feel of view, whatever, you know. That's how I feel. But there are different aspects of this game that they can make it stand out. Its AIs are ridiculously smart, and I can't really explain. Like we were having like space battles, and they aim for the most important parts of your ship. They don't. I mean, granted, they know where they are, which is almost like cheating, what most people would say, and they'd probably cry about it and all
Yeah,
that.
you feel it as it's unfair, but the AI is trained to essentially shoot you out of your cockpit.
Yeah, and it's pretty ridiculous. The game is it has its tweaks, and I know that you said there was an update recently.
Yeah, just it's been what 2 days since I've recently since I had logged on, but I hopped on this morning just to check it out, and there was a recent patch, and pretty much everything just received a nice facelift. Like it went from kind of a blocky Minecraft feel to where now it looks like the legitimate computer game that that you're purchasing. So that's what's
Yeah, and it's only $20,
pretty
which
nice.
makes it even like like they've been putting a lot of effort into it, and like the community. They definitely the nice thing about this game is that you can build things off of blueprints. So I mean, you can build all kinds of Star Wars ships. You can build. I mean, there was a Death Star for a capital vessel, which I
Yeah,
thought
you
was
can have
hilarious.
you can have the Death Star. You can even have the Millennium Falcon too. And that's what's good about the community of the game is one person can put in the hours and hours of work into building it, and then as long as he publishes his blueprint, then the rest of the community can benefit from from his work. So that's pretty sweet.
The only thing is you have to grind to get those materials, and good lord, it takes forever.
Very true. Unless you grind through your levels and hit your max level and get your automated mining machines, which is quite nice.
All right, so we'll talk about Overwatch now. Seeing that is always going to be something we talk about. Probably, I mean, we'll probably do updates every week, but for people that don't know what Overwatch is, I'm gonna give you the simplest explanation. It is a 6v6 game majority of the time, unless you play something different, that is objective based. And for those of you that don't have game sense, you will end up in the lowest bracket of the game, which is actually probably where most of the fun happens. And that's why me and Pope actually have created second accounts.
Yeah, you got to have those second accounts that way you can go in and play with the garbage of the game. So
God, I can't. I honestly, we're getting so close to actually being able to enjoy ourselves in this game. And that's sad to say because this game is just like super competitive, and we get stuck
It's
with all the toxic players.
Yeah, I was about to say it's super competitive and pretty much the level where me and you both are right now.
It's
It's
just
just full of you rather have half-witted people who don't want to listen, and you are the toxic character in the game, or you're trying to do decent and you are doing decent, but you just have such toxic players on your team that it just makes it so hard to play.
yeah, and I think the issue is that we're stuck in an area of Overwatch that's super toxic when the rest of the community, like, granted there are plenty of times where we don't have that, but like granted we aren't like the best players of the game, shouldn't be top 500 or whatever, but I've played on higher accounts and definitely done perfectly fine to hold my own up with them as well. So
Oh yeah, most definitely. And also another thing with Overwatch is they have the Overwatch League,
yes,
which is actually really cool because I like that us as a country community, whatever you want to call us, are finally taking games serious. It always just, gaming used to be what the nobodies did. People who didn't have a life, they would just sit around and play games. And, they lived in their mom's basement, had acne all over their face, and were 300 pounds overweight.
whoa, don't be bringing out stereotypes now.
I mean, well, that's just a stereotype that people put on it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
I've been asked before, like, do I have any hobbies? My hobbies include school, which people might not consider a hobby, but I do because I thoroughly enjoy doing school. I like learning how to code, and I enjoy playing video games.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to decompress. People might not see it because they just think you're wasting your life away staring at a screen, but
I mean, that's the same thing as watching TV. I really hate that argument because when I was growing up, oh, stop playing video games, go outside, and then when I went and did something, I come back, everyone's watching TV. So I mean, there is no
yeah,
there's no balance. You're telling me
yeah,
to
I
stop
know,
playing
man.
games, but you're gonna do pretty much the exact same thing without hand movement. At least I'm like keeping up hand-eye coordination.
Exactly. I mean, there's been studies that show that it's good. People say it kills your brain, it rots your brain, it actually increases your hand-eye coordination and so forth. So
Yeah, there are pretty
I see.
pretty benefits. We will have a whole argument amongst that, and I will make sure we cite my sources. Okay. Oh wait.
Yeah, exactly. I think I got it off of Wikipedia.
Oh God. I'll find actual medical studies or something like that. God damn it! I found it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, man, Wikipedia. I remember back in the day when you could just go in and change a Wikipedia page.
Oh my God.
That was in my seventh grade. I think I was in a yearbook class, and it was when George Bush and Al Gore were running for president against each other.
And people were
And
just changing both of their
and
Wikipedias.
yeah, you could go into Wikipedia and just troll. It was pretty sweet. I mean, that was like before trolling on the online was even a thing. I was back in that's like pre MySpace days.
So it was like before it was before it was recognized as a term.
Yeah, and see, and that's another thing is everyone wants to knock social media, but like MySpace back in the day, like if you weren't like if you didn't have knowledge on how to write code, you could not be a successful MySpace person.
I mean, I just copy and pasted a bunch of stuff. Does that count?
I mean, you could copy and paste, but and that's just how it is. Like you see these memes these days, and it's like these kids, and they're like, "Man, I wish that I could put a song on my Facebook page that like when people click on my page, my song plays."
No, you don't.
And it's sad that we are in the generation of kids these days who will have absolutely no idea what MySpace is and how the foundations of of social media really started.
Yeah.
And especially to what it's grown to today. And you look at all the businesses on it. I mean, once I complete school and and I'm doing my whole web development stuff, I will definitely have a page on Facebook. And seeing as how social media is just blown up and it's helped so many people.
Yeah, definitely be able to be utilized, and that's where my degree comes in.
Exactly. And that's why we're not a bad duo.
Your dog walked in, which I thought was hilarious, just like casually.
Yeah, that's funny. He just came in here and laid down.
He got big. I remember the
Yeah.
pictures you had sent me. He was a little pup.
Yeah, I think when we got him, he weighed all of like 7 pounds, and now he's pushing 30, so 30 plus.
Good Lord. And he's not even, full grown, right?
No, he was born in February, so
Wow.
he's just about 5 months old.
Yeah, he got big quick. I don't know. I just remember when you got him because that was on the unfortunate time of
Yeah, losing our our puppy Buster. Yep, it was a bad time. We've got Buster cremated, and he sits on our dresser in our bedroom. So, and we got a little picture to him, and that's how we remember Buster. So it's good.
Well, he was a great dog. He was one of my favorite out of every single one that we've had.
Oh yeah, man, he was an OG. So
yeah, I was like him and Queso. I mean, granted, your parents had the better ones, but
granted.
All right. Do you have any YouTube channels you want to talk about?
I mean, I have a YouTube channel that I want to establish, but it isn't.
Okay. Well,
but because it's one of those things, like I want to do it to where I can showcase myself, and like I don't really.
Well, I mean, one thing. So what we can talk about right here, right now, is you talking about how you plan on doing something with your channel, or what you plan on doing with your channel.
Yeah, let me find the name of my channel. That way, I know what I'm talking about.
Reflection video, 22 views 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah, that was for school.
Look at that, guys. All right, so this is Stephen Pope's channel, or Pope in general. I don't know if you care to say your full name, but make sure you subscribe. You can check that out. We will also have that in the description. Make sure you click that bell icon. Get some updates if he ever posts anything currently.
And that's the thing with that. I know as for now, it seems as if it's a bare channel. But
I mean, it's always got potential to grow. So
yeah, exactly. It is, but pretty much what I want my YouTube to be for is like I stream on Twitch. If you want to watch me on Twitch, then watch me on Twitch. I won't necessarily flood my YouTube with
games,
with gaming clips and stuff like that. Like also, I have a Twitter. If I get a really good play of the game in Overwatch, I'll spam Twitter with it. But my YouTube, I want it to be more professional based. Like I know in there right now, I just have a reflection video, and that's pretty much something for school. But pretty much what I will be using my YouTube for in the future is when I create projects or, I want to showcase them there.
Yeah, so have like a digital portfolio.
I do. Yeah, exactly. It's just another way of having a portfolio. Like I have a portfolio on GitHub right now. I have a Google Drive. I have all that good stuff, but it's not very visual. And with YouTube and a video generator, you can I can make it flashy for you. So be sure to definitely subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff, and I will. It'll be something I'll be updating in the future and keeping.
It will be worthwhile.
Exactly. It'll be pretty much if you ever want to know what I'm doing professionally, that's where you'll be able to look and see.
All right, so talking about gaming YouTube, I've had one for gaming in YouTube and all kinds of stuff. I've had a gaming YouTube for a while. I had 580 videos that I actually privatized. I did that mostly because I wanted to try and restart my gaming YouTube, and then we started college. And since we started college, I don't even think I've had much free time to record pretty much anything. This is actually my first really big project outside of school, and I'm really excited for it. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, I definitely agree with you there. I thought that I'd have time to do all this different recreational stuff, but especially when it's a coding class, that's all I do. I just wake up, read, code, sleep. That's my day.
Yeah, and
especially in these months of programming. So
yeah, and it's been it's planning upon planning for both, just you and I getting our classes together, getting some free time. Granted, right now we have a good free hour in order to talk, and then we've got homework the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I got work. You've got to work tomorrow. So, it's going to be a busy. And granted, we record before Friday. That's when the videos go live. So, if any of you are watching, or not even videos, just podcast in general. But when we have a really hectic schedule with our school. And if you don't know what Full Sail is, this is not a paid advertisement. We just happen to go there. So, I might as well just talk about it. So, Full Sail is a technology-based, more or less, college. And man, it feels rushed, but it's not. Everything is just done so quick that you finish faster, and you retain more knowledge. In my opinion, I feel like you retain a lot more knowledge.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it as well. It's it breaks up like the monotony of like normal schools. That's what I feel. I mean, I went to a normal-ish school. It was still online, but it was like 8-week classes, and it's just terrible. It's terrible, terrible. 8 weeks of the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Just
Yeah, and this is
like
only 4 weeks.
yeah, these are 4-week classes. All of the programs they have there, even on campus, are accelerated. It's an accelerated program. They keep you, the student, more accountable for what you do in a week. It's not a school. If you want someone to hold your hand and walk you through a career program, that is not this school. And I found that out, especially taking this class I am this month, excuse me. But
This week.
pretty much I thought that I could kind of, maybe skate through my project and portfolio class, but they are definitely serious about updating storyboards and updating your Google Drive and showing them what you're learning, and not what they're teaching you, what you are going out individually and teaching yourself.
Yeah, so they
and
also
how you're applying it to what you're doing in a week.
Yeah, and they expect, and that's the fun thing about this class is they give you the freedom to learn outside, but they also want you to be able to prove it. And I mean, granted, my classes give you such minimal amounts of things. Like I spent like 4 hours last night just reading and doing my homework, and that's just for one of my few assignments this week. And then on top of that, I have to write like 6 to 10 pages by Sunday. And that sounds horrible, but I mean, I'm in a grad program, so I totally understand if you guys sound a little scared by that, but it's also accelerated, like you said. So 4 weeks, I have to write my first product of a thesis paper, and granted, I'm on like my 10th revision.
What we do in 4 weeks, most people do in a semester. So
And
I mean, I know most people in a semester, they take on 4 or 5 classes, but I feel only doing one class. I mean, I had 2 classes this month, but one of them is a true joke. I just had to download a book, and that was 95% of my grade. Literally, it didn't. I don't have to show that I read it. I don't have to do any of that. I download a book.
What is the book?
It's pretty much kind of like what we're doing here. It's about establishing an online presence on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and pretty much how you showcase yourself as a professional.
So like getting like pretty much like creating and starting your digital portfolio.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
That makes sense. Yeah, so the main difference for me, like I know we're talking about college, is between undergrad and grad school. I went to not necessarily, I would say a traditional, but not in a main sense because it was a private college. I went to Texas Lutheran University in Texas, obviously.
Texas Lutheran University in Missouri.
I mean, I've heard of some weird ones, and
that's true.
And it's a big difference having professors that you can meet. I mean, granted, we have they have office hours. You can still meet with them and stuff. A lot of my professors actually offer like video conference calls too, just in case. Like you can message them, they'll respond. A lot of them respond within like an hour or two if you do it during the day. I've even had one professor respond to me. I emailed her at like 10:30 at night. She responded at like 11, and I was like, "Oh well, you're still awake. Thank God." The assignment was due tomorrow. But like for me, I didn't feel like I had to. Granted, I ended undergrad with a 3.0. Like, I don't necessarily felt like I skated by because my first 2 semesters were a complete shit show, and my GPA was an all-time low. And then after that, I think I was pulling mostly A's and B's for the rest of my college career. I mean, I also graduated early, so it was a tough time. But it also wasn't anywhere near as hard as this program seems to be. And from what I've heard, my undergrad was actually a lot harder than most graduate programs. Like Texas State, which is right down the road from TOU, I applied there, I got accepted. And when I was looking at their curriculum compared to what I'm doing here, it just looked so boring. And like the career paths that I would be following was like, yeah, you'd be able to do this with your degree. Like it was very limited, and like granted that's what most master's programs are meant for, but it was so limited that, and I hate saying this, but like you get one career field and that's it.
Yeah, because then what happens if you do 6 months in that career field and it's just not for you?
Yeah, and I want something specific like that, but I also want something broad enough to where it's like I had my experience, you know, mine's PR. I had my experience maintaining a brand. Now I want to go over here and work with the communication side where we all we do is output messages, or it's some, I mean, granted this all within the same field, but like there are broad positions and things that I would be able to do, but with some of the things that they put in their curriculum, it was literally you will have like 3 jobs for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And
So I think
go ahead.
I'm just saying something to touch on. I think if people don't understand exactly what your master's is for, is PR. Like everyone always, because everyone calls Wendy's on Twitter ruthless.
Oh my god, dude, I
Like
love
that
them.
exactly. Like they're hilarious, but that has nothing to do with like, is it Wendy's? Yeah, absolutely, it's Wendy's, but it's not like the CEO or the COO of
Mm-mm.
Wendy's who's tweeting that. It's a 20-something-year-old dude, chick, whoever, like yourself,
And that's
who
and I
represents their company on on a social media, just a digital frontier.
that's
So,
just one part of a PR team, and I guarantee you that it's more than one person running that Twitter account.
oh
It's
yeah, for sure. It's probably a team of and
wit,
it's just witty people. Just the wits that come out of that Twitter account alone is just it's outrageous.
and if you haven't seen that on screen, I'll post the at name, or possibly in the description below. But you guys got to check that out if you haven't seen them before. It's hilarious, and there's also some pretty funny YouTube videos over people reading them and whatnot, and like the responses. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
And then I don't know if you ever saw, if you like were watching around during that disaster of PR for IHOP when they were, I mean, talking
You
about
mean
IHOP.
IHOP?
Yeah, exactly. And then literally every restaurant was roasting them after that. I was going on Twitter and I found things from, like, I mean, we're in Texas, so Whataburger is sort of unfair, but I saw like Wendy's roast them. Obviously, like that's a thing. And then you also had like Burger King, McDonald's, like just a bunch of random restaurants were just roasting them, and it was
Yeah.
one of my favorite because it was a PR shitstorm for them. Granted, it probably helped them out in business, so I mean, it worked in their favor. I've not seen any store change to IHOB. And that they still utilize their IHOP Twitter, so I don't really see a big difference. I don't know if that was just for them to make money.
I was about to say maybe that was just it was all a trick. It's a trap essentially
I mean,
into
but
thinking, getting people talking about IHOP again.
since no one goes there, it's all about
Yeah,
since Waffle House has been taken over, huh?
like the IHOP here in Corpus. I mean, to say it's run down is definitely an understatement.
It's all about that low
I
quality service, dude.
That's what I'm saying, man. I went in there talking about like we were in there sitting there, Lisette and I, and we were sitting there, and there was a couple next to us who were strung out pretty much. Yeah, they definitely were strung out on something. I'm not going to say they were crackheads or anything, but they were definitely on something. And they were sitting there talking about how they can't believe they got away from the cops last night. I don't know. It was just the most bizarre conversation I ever sat and witnessed. Like talking about how they were smoking crack together. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that they were,
But they
but
said
when
they
people
were.
sit in a restaurant talking about how they're smoking crack cocaine and they were so fucked up and they don't understand what happened last night, like that, it's just a whole different character of people around here, man.
Probably just playing GTA 5 at home.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be funny. All right, so we sort of skated over it, but we can also talk about, um, balance of workload. Like we both have pretty busy lives, and we're both also extremely involved in a lot of stuff. So if you want to, like, I mean, talk more about your school and how you sort of manage your time, besides the
Yeah,
fact that you have a photographic memory.
yeah. I mean, that definitely helps a lot. But pretty much how I manage my time at school, it's actually pretty easy because my wife works as a hairstylist during the day. So, and as a firefighter, I work 72 hours a week, which sounds crazy. It is. It sucks having to be away from the house, for literally 3 days a week, sleeping eating, shitting, showering, you name it. That's what I do at that place. So, and it gets a little tough, but so like this morning, Lisette woke up, went to work at 9. So I have pretty much from 9 until roughly noon 30, and then she'll come home for a lunch. So within those 3.5 hours, I'll sit down and I'll
Yeah.
work on whatever project, and I break my day up. So like I'll sit there and I'll be like, all right, in the morning I'm gonna do my research, and then she'll come home for lunch. We'll eat lunch, and then after lunch it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this essay, and then I'll do that for the 3 days that I'm home, and then when I go to work, that's where it can get a little hairy because work is work, and you can't plan to do certain things when you don't know what you're about to go do. So I'll find myself like I work my normal day, which is we start the day at 7, and we end the day at 3. So 7 to 3. So then after 3 o'clock, I'll sit down. Especially if it's a very tasking week, like this week's is going to be, like I have research, I have a thesis paper to write, I have 4 or 5 coding projects I have to knock out by the end of this week. That way I'm ready to go for next week, which is the final week of the class. But so I'll find myself sitting down from 3 o'clock till whatever time. Like, I'll get up and I'll eat dinner and I'll take a shower, but then I'll come back and I'll sit there and do school till, 11, 12, 1 a.m. just grinding it out. And that's just, some people might see it as being too much, but to me, that's my balance. That's how I get through my week. I just think as what I'm working for is worth it to be a little tired in the morning. And that's the thing of being a firefighter. If I'm tired from the night before, I get paid to take an hour lunch and I can sleep in my lunch. So I get paid to take a nap. Just like I get paid to be a student, I get paid to play video games, I get paid, what I'm saying? So it goes, it's not a bad perk. That's how I balance my work weeks. I work and I do school, and with Lisette's schedule and my schedule, we have every other Sunday, Monday off. So every other Sunday, Monday, that's our week that we go out and we just be together and run errands, and I kind of take a break.
Yeah, get to hang out and relax and whatnot.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like essentially like that was like I'm on my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday break day right now. So
Yeah.
so yesterday and Sunday were our days to where I'll get everything done in school before I come home Sunday morning. That way we can spend
The
our
weekend
normal
together.
days together.
Yeah. And from like I get the same thing, but unfortunately I don't have the luxury of being able to do my homework while I'm at work. So I work, 40 to 50 hours a week usually, and I have technically 2 jobs. One of my jobs is just like an on the call type thing, or on call, whatever you want to call it. And since I'm in grad school, we have to work on a capstone project. And with that being said, I have to work with an outside company. So I pretty much have 3 jobs, and I'm in school. We'll just lower it down to 2. But I constantly have to keep in touch with these people. I'm running their social media, more or less, and that makes it a lot of fun. But I keep in contact. I have meetings with them every week, or at least we have been doing that, just to try and make sure that we're all touching base and we're all staying on the same page. And then we also have the aspects of me trying to balance out my home life, because I have a girlfriend, and then I also have a dog, which I posted on in the 60-second vlog. And then obviously you've seen one of Pope's 50,000 animals. He has a farm over there in his house. But it's
I have 2 dogs and a cat. That's all I got these days.
yeah, my workload balance is a lot harder, because I'll wake up. God, I don't even want to say I wake up between 10 and noon every day. And I spend that morning time usually at most knocking out minimal, like the easy things on my homework. Like I'll read and watch a video or something Mondays and Tuesdays sometimes. And then I go to work, and in that time I'll spend time with my dog and my girlfriend. And then we go to and then I go to work, and at work I have I have a little bit of downtime. It's not a lot, but it's enough to where I can like pull something up. If it's a quick read, like something I can skim through and get the general idea on, and then read it later, finalize, like just get it into my brain, I can do that. But majority of the time, I do not have enough time at work to do my homework. And so when I get home from work, the first thing I do is I usually take my dog out, and then I start on my assignments. And this month has just been, it's probably been the most taxing on me, just because we have to write our like thesis paper. And I think, or not, well, capstone thesis, it's a pretty long paper. Right now my paper is sitting at like 20 something pages, and this is week 3. So in the first 2 weeks, I've written that much, and like we have to add 10 sources. Right now I have 15 sources on this paper, and the final completed version of this paper is technically due in December, which is when my master's program would be ending. But seeing as we're an accelerated program, we start extremely early. But it's also like we have to conduct research and we have to have a project. And so that's another reason why I'm working with another company outside, is so I put up a lot of time and whatnot just to be able to get this all set up for my paper. And it's like in undergrad, it wasn't as hard. Granted, I spent probably over 1,000 hours on my senior project then, but I feel like I've spent that much in 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely sounds taxing.
That's why I haven't been playing games as much. Like
Yeah, I mean, and I've been the same way. Like, I mean, we had our summer break, and that's
the 1 week.
Our 1 week summer break, and that's when I picked up Empyrean. You know, I told myself that I was going to be proactive and do this and do that, and which I did. Like I did some coding projects, and I need to go back and do some refactoring, which just means improving for all the non-coding people around. The layman term. But I've refactored some code. Every time I sit down and I show some of my buddies what I do, now that I possess more knowledge in a lot of my basic projects that I was first doing, I can see how sloppy it is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so when I first started code, I mean, the work that I put out, I feel bad for these instructors. I appreciate what they do, because having to sort through did the program run the way it was supposed to? Like, yeah, absolutely. But is there a way to make it 10 times as clean as what it looked like? Yeah, for sure. And like that's what I've been doing, has been going through and refactoring. So, essentially that's a part of my class this month as well. I also have to, as easy as it is, and I guess now that I have the setup, it'll be even easier. I have to make a 7 to 10 minute video of the work I've done this month, what I've learned, what I plan to learn, where I want to see myself, so on and so forth. So it's definitely going to be a busy, Tuesday? So if you think about it, it's definitely going to be a busy 12 days for me.
It's all right. Well, we have 1.5 weeks left, so we can knock it out. Well, technically 2, but I like to make it sound like less.
Yeah,
it's less
to make it sound like I'm in much more of a time crunch.
Yeah, that's what I was going for sure. All right, well, we're closing in on the end here. So, is there anything you want to add? Anything? Because I have a couple things, but they're going to be like really quick topics. So,
no, I don't think I have much to add. Just, I guess I can get Ryan or Cav here to maybe throw in some social media links of mine if you want to take the time to follow or whatnot. I know at the time, like right now, I'm not the most active person on social media, but with a nice conversation I had with my wife, she said, you want to be successful in life and the world that we live in, you got to be online. So I'm going to try to start establishing more of an online presence. So I can get that in there. And then just with my YouTube channel, you want to follow my YouTube channel. The project that I do next week, I will definitely be uploading onto that. So, check it out.
Awesome. Alrighty. So real quick, we are also going to be doing a little thing for Pops and Pups. If you know what Pops are, they're just little bobblehead figures. Actually, I have one sitting right here. This is a mini version. If you have a bunch of them, send them pictures to us or on Twitter. And obviously our ad names are going to be in the description and on the screen as we talk about them every time. Probably not. Not every time, at least. we'll have them definitely the times that they're meant for. But Pops and Pups, if you've got animals that you want to share with us, we may shout you out in the next video. Or I guess, like, if you're watching, if not, sorry, you don't get to enjoy these nice pictures of everything. That's just your fault. You can always come check us out and watch the ending of it. It's always fun. And then I'm wearing this shirt. It's one of my friends. If you are interested in the shirt, or if you've been looking at it at all, you go ahead and @ me on Twitter, and I'll give you some more information about it. But other than that, you can follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description, as well as you can follow me on Snapchat. I don't know if Pope wants to put your Snap on there, but I will put my Snap. I'm going to start being a little bit more active on my story for that. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And I'm sure that Pope will have some of his links there, and I'll put those on the description for you, or on Twitter, whatever you want to do. But other than that, I mean, that's the wrap. That's
Okay.
it.
I just want to add one thing that I read in an article that you sent me. So
Okay, go ahead.
for everyone who thinks when you see this link in the podcast and you see the length of it, 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is after we edit, just think. It says, just like music or audiobooks, podcasts can be consumed while doing laundry, going to the gym, washing dishes, or just relaxing. With our podcast, you don't need to sit at a computer and watch us talk. Like, is it cool? Yeah, because we're on camera and it's personable. Absolutely. But turn on your YouTube, throw it on your phone, put your phone in your pocket, listen to it while you walk around your house. Just give us a chance. And it's not always, like I said, it's not about sitting here watching it. Take on, you want to start the laundry? But hey, let's listen to the podcast. Let's get it going. Let's get the BS podcast going. So that's just how you got to think of it. That's how.
Yeah, and our main goal is to also be on other mediums. So, I mean, I will try and have links to, if you want to listen to us on SoundCloud, I'm going to try and get us on the iTunes Music or the Apple, podcast thing. I might even try and find, there was another one, Anchor. I think Anchor was one we're going to look at. And then the last one I was going to be looking into was going to be the Samsung store or whatever they do for podcasts. That way we have like a broad general base for podcasts. And
then obviously in the future we'll be bringing on some different guests to discuss different things. I have a couple people in mind who we could bring on, and they bring different things to the table that you may not see in the realm of what you live in, but it's a norm to them every day. So that's just what's good about this. So
you can always get different insights. Well, we appreciate you listening, watching, whatever you're doing. But other than that, this has been some good bullshit. Oh, I mean broad spectrum.
Yeah, broad spectrum, not bullshit.
All right, my bad.